After 15,000 odd kilometres and 3.5 months, we are just about to turn into our street to come home, and as per Carly's request, we brought a bit of sunny weather with us. And it looks like we've arrived home in time for the hard rubbish collection.
This morning we leave Coonabarabran and head for home, as this was our last major stop for the trip. After 2 more nights we will be home, and as we travel down the highway, which is quite familiar to us, we start to remember the highlights of the trip.
That's going right again.
Today we're in Woomera and we're having a look around at the Rocket Park. Andamooka is an old town which you could only describe as quirky. It's full of old mining sites and there are some very interesting old miners' cottages. Plenty of old artefacts. Well, you see from the colour of the sky, it's not all that good a blue anymore. And the wind's rocking and howling. Far more picturesque. Don't know whether you can hear this, but because of the salt crust, it's quite crunchy underfoot. Here we are on the side of the Oodnadatta track. We've stopped for a series of art installations called Planehenge. This is the bubbler at the Mound Springs Conservation Park. We're up here at the Big Winch. Todd suggested that coming up to the Big Winch might be a good spot to see the town as the sun sets tonight. So it is quite big.
Oh, water crossing. Oh, they must have a bit of water here.
We're in, I think it's Mutijulu. Here is a great view of the rock from round the other side.
I know. We'll do with whichever one the bus doesn't do.
Kathleen Springs waterhole, which is permanent because of a spring down there. Okay, Wataka National Park, Kings Canyon. This morning we're going to take a little walk down to Glen Helen Gorge. There's the river just there below us. We'll follow the path down. This is Goss Bluff, which is an ancient meteorite crater. Really, really impressive. Here we are at Ormiston Gorge. There's Gail. Here are the ochre pits. Not sure which colour of them is ochre. This time we are walking into the Ellery Creek Big Hole, where people have been swimming and enjoying themselves. Probably go for a swim to get out of the flies. So we're travelling with Gary and Laurel today, and our first stop is at Emily Gap, out east of Alice. Here we are in the Trofina Gorge, and this is the Trofina Gorge Stroll.
Nice rock.
This is the tallest ghost gum in Australia.
Oh, is it an Australian bustard?
Oh, silly bastard.
Morsels approach that they can get their beaks onto. A pretty unique Australian bird.
A typical example of some mulga forest. I'm standing at the tee-off for hole number 8. You can see it's fairly dry here. There may be water down deep because this area used to be a mica mine, and it's quite an impressive hole with water. Today we're at Wycliffe Well Holiday Park. This is the UFO capital of Australia. So here's Elvis. One of the blocks of cabins. Here we are at Kalu Kalu, the Devil's Marbles.
It's a basic drilling machine. It's called an air leg drill.
A ton of rock will fit into 2 wheelbarrows.
Here we are at the Pebbles. We're at the Tennant Creek Telegraph Station. Historic Daily Waters. There's just so much stuff here. It's unbelievable.
We've got a bush tracker and another bush tracker.
Walking down to Bitter Springs to have a little bit of a float down the stream.
We're on the Kata Kata Cave tour.
This is the short 650 metre climb to the Burraway Lookout. So there it is, there's the first of the 2 gorges.
That is rock here was made famous by the meeting each other.
Quite cosy, we've got plenty of sun for our solar and plenty of shade coming off our awning, and it's quite picturesque.
mist is throwing on. You can't see through it.
And this time we're at Wangi Falls, or Wangi Falls, or however they pronounce it. This is the Lost City, so we practically had to get lost to find our way here. Not a real lost city, but just an interesting collection of rock formations that looks like a ruined city.
We're now at the Termite Mounds, famous for being all facing north and south, and there's a whole lot here.
It's rain. Yeah.
Just going to wander around and see some of the sights. Something about a tropical garden. Old, too modern. Here is the courthouse. I'm on the lawns in front of the cenotaph.
Didn't look too bad, and Tracy really struck.
Here we are at the World War II storage tunnels. An action mural depicting the bombing of Darwin. We're looking at VHFMP.
Oh, the wetlands region.
Crocodiles are found in the ocean, rivers, wetlands, freshwater and inland
The Australian Aviation Heritage Centre, home of the B-52 bomber, and the F-111. This is the top of the lookout from Curbia Rock. Some of these are especially intricate.
Billabong on the way back.
This is the Unbungbung Billabong.
And we're on Yellow Waters Billabong just at the moment, just here. And this is the traditional lands of the Moranbah clan.
Obligatory photo of the car in first. The sun's just rising over our camp at Allbody Stop. Kookaburra.
That's nice.
The Burke and Wills expedition went through here in 1861.
I don't know what's going on down there.
Waltzing Matilda Centre. Winton's Diamantina Heritage Truck and Machinery Museum. These trucks have all been lovingly restored and are all in working order.
Capital of the Outback. Okay.
So nice and rocking all can on your horse without your horse getting all. What's on the Outback Stockman Show? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
And a US Air Force B-17.
Very clean.
So it's a beautiful day here in Possum Park with a lovely view of the Vickers Super Viscount, which is being restored. Miles Motor Garage. I feel like I should be galloping through here on my horse.
Like that. Well, that for cutting. Yes.
Here we are in Stanthorpe,
Yes,
2019.
Winery number one on this.
Just coming over the top of there. They're just sort of rocky and they're funny, unusual shapes.
The Anglo-Australian Telescope, Siding Springs.
No drone zone.
No drones.
There you go.
So this vision probably needs no introduction, but it is actually the dish. Oh, it's a baby. So this is the old receiver cabin, and this cabin sat on top of the dish, or at the focus of the dish, and had all the sensitive radio receivers to pick up the radio signals from space. So we're going to do the whisper dish. There's another dish a little while back. Face into the dish but stand straight up. Can you hear me? Hang on, I'll turn around so the microphone can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is there anybody out there? Very good. While we were in watching the 3D movie, the dish has spun around. In fact, I don't know whether it's still turning or not. It takes 15 minutes to complete one revolution, so it might be fairly difficult to observe the rotation.
That's our little thank you, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the scene at the West Wyalong Showgrounds, where we are camped for the princely sum of $20 per night, set for another pleasant but probably chilly night.
Still got any of those lemons?
Sorry, with the hazard of water in it. Victoria. Do you realise, darling, that these few drops of rain
Yeah.
are the first rain we've been in during the day since the 2nd of May?
2nd of May. Right? Around 157 metres.
This is Albertoni's house, a few flies here, which was first built in 1931. It's an art installation, or a series of art installations, and about 1 billion flies. Here we are at the Big Red Rock, and along with a lot of other people and even more flies. This is what I look like with the flies buzzing everywhere. It's just yuck. The breeze is nice because it's keeping the flies away a bit. I've only got about 50 on me.